Do you want to know one of the main reasons that people fear change? It's about security. It's about finding our security in the status quo or in the things around us that are familiar. And when we anticipate change, we fear that we are going to lose that security. Sometimes there's changes that we even want to initiate, but we're fearful that when those things change, that we are just not going to have what we need. And that insecurity causes us to resist change. It can even cause us to become reactive when we anticipate that change might happen. And let's face it, there's always change happening. So today I want to talk to you about ways that you can find security that have nothing to do with the changing world around you. The place for you to find security is within yourself. And I want to talk about how you can do that. So let's get started. The first place for you to find security is in your own flexibility. As human beings, we are designed to be adaptive. That's how our species has evolved. If we were not flexible, we would have become extinct already. And maybe you've noticed in your past when there's been changes that have happened, you have adapted. Maybe it's been strange or scary or uncomfortable, but you figure it out. Sometimes we want to be able to predict how are things going to look like down the road. Once this change happens, then what will it look like? Then what's going to happen after that? The problem is that we can't predict that stuff. We are flexible and we can trust our flexibility, but what we can't do is predict what is it going to look like because it hasn't happened yet. Instead, I just want you to focus on the fact that you have that ability to adapt. That's always been there. That will always be there for you, and it will serve you very well as changes come. The next place to find security is your resourcefulness. Your resourcefulness. As human beings, we are so resourceful. And there's always things around us that we can resource, whether it's people, events, opportunities, supplies. But resourcefulness is a skill, and it's the ability to sit back, to scan your surroundings, your network, to identify what is it that I really need right now, and then to have the courage and the vulnerability to ask for that support. I'm sure you've done this in the past, even if it's been hard, and you can do this in the future. The thing is, you cannot predict right now what will those resources look like. You just can't think in a year's time what will be in my life for me to resource because things are always changing. There is always a rotation of people and things coming in and out of our lives. So the resources change, but what doesn't change is your ability to identify what you need and to find it in the world around you. Find security in your ability to be resourceful. The next place to find security is in your own self-compassion. What we all want to know is that when changes are coming, no matter what happens, that we're going to have someone who will love us unconditionally and take care of us. And guess what? You have that because you have that in yourself. Practicing self-compassion is something that should be going on right now so that you have that practice there for you, that when things do happen that catch you off guard or that you knock you to the ground, I mean figuratively speaking, when we're in situations where we become really overwhelmed or we make mistakes or we feel lost, we want to have that safe place to land. We want someone in our corner that we can trust, and you can be that for yourself. But you need to practice that now so that when things get hard, you're prepared to care for yourself in that way, to make accommodations for yourself, and to give yourself that soothing self-talk that allows you to feel like you can depressurize and identify what those next steps can be so that you can navigate those situations and feel like you're emotionally okay in the process. Another thing to bring you security is your own attitude. Attitudes are so important. Sometimes when changes are happening, people around us get scared and they can try to discourage us. Maybe they're not ready for change. But the thing about an attitude is that it helps you. It helps you stay hopeful. It helps you to problem solve. It helps you to remember that at any given point, even when there are things around that maybe you need to grieve or things that you're unhappy about, there are also things to appreciate. There are also new opportunities. There's also growth. So having an attitude that serves you, it's a way to filter new information, and it's a way to support your own thinking as you're busy trying to adapt and adjust to new changes. A final thing to find security in is your own ability to choose. We always have choices. Sometimes we forget all the choices we have. Sometimes we don't like our choices, but we always have them. even if that choice is just choosing to see something in a different way. There might be times where you exhaust yourself trying to make something work in a relationship. Sometimes we have to consider the choice of disengaging from that relationship. Or maybe you're working really hard to try to make something work in a certain role and it's not working. Sometimes we have to make the difficult choice to learn new skills or to find a new role. Sometimes we make the choice to just evaluate things in our life that need to be upgraded or changed. And again, these choices are there for us. If you make the wrong choice, you can always make a subsequent choice to course correct. But our choices, that's part of our freedom. And remembering that you have choices can help us feel less stuck and less preoccupied with that which is outside of our control. I hope that considering these things helps you to remember you are your security. You are your security. And that doesn't mean that others around you are not part of that, but it's about your own skills and it's about your own trust and your own love for yourself. That is what helps you to navigate things at any point along your journey. So remember that that's there and trust that. When you find yourself feeling anxious, reflect on that. And I hope that that helps you to give you the peace that you deserve. If these ideas were helpful, feel free to share them. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.